Okay, everybody, good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So tonight is the 4 key skills to take charge of your life, and I really love this particular webinar and delivering it because it's based on the Silva method. So for anyone who's new and hasn't heard me deliver this before or hasn't heard this presentation before, the Silva method is a 4-day dynamic meditation program, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a few slides away. But as for now, I am the only Silva method trainer in Australia, and the only reason I mention that is this program absolutely changed my life about 9 years ago, significantly, completely. I won't tell you the whole long story because I want to rather spend the time delivering the content for your benefit. But in brief, it was the most difficult time of my life back then, about 9 years ago. The most stressful. I lost so much self-confidence. It was after I immigrated, new country, new job. I even changed industry and I changed city and company all at the same time. And it was just a little bit overwhelming. And I just went on such a downward spiral like I'd never experienced before. And the worst of it was that I lost my self-confidence. And the other terrible thing that happened was the stress and anxiety that I was experiencing caused me to become quite ill. And I was ill for a very long period of time, about 18 months. And nothing could turn it around. I have got many personal development programs. I'd read so many books by that stage. My life was really in a very good place just before that for years. So this was kind of a shock for myself to say, what is happening here and why is it happening? And one night, just desperate and afraid of what was going on, and I couldn't stem this problem, I got on the internet searching for answers, and I came across the Silva method. I read someone's testimonial, and it sounded just like my story, and I wasn't doing very well at work. And this other person wrote on their testimonial, I was doing so badly, I was afraid of being fired, and I got the Silva method, and within 6 months, I became top salesperson in the company. I thought, wow, I've got to get this program. So I bought the home study program at that stage and just applied it every day of my life. And truth be told, it was only 5 months later, everything had turned completely around for me. My health came back fully. Most importantly, my self-confidence came back stronger than ever. I was smashing my sales targets. I became top salesperson in the company. I stayed with that reputation all the years until I left, and I was there for 5 years. And I exceeded my sales target by about 190% the first year, over 200% the second year, and I continued like that all the time through until I left. So I was so inspired by the Silva method that I just wanted to share this with everybody. Everybody I spoke to, I was telling them about this program. I was helping people, my family, anyone I could. But I really wanted to do the live training, and I couldn't find it in Australia. So as a result, I wrote a letter to Silva International and said, look, it would be my dream to teach this to other people. It's helped me so much, and there's no trainer in Australia. And that's the short story. The longer story unfolded, and the rest is history. I did become a Silva trainer, and I could not be more grateful and feel blessed to share this, because I absolutely know with my whole heart that this has got to be the most effective personal development program in the world, hands down. It's been around the longest. It's completely scientifically based and evidence-based, scientifically proven. It's been in over 110 countries around the world. They don't know the exact number, but it's somewhere between 6 and 10 million have done it. There have been successes with every single person who's ever done it, not a negative story anywhere. And it's because this is really the most phenomenal and amazing program. And the truth is, many and most other programs are somehow, some way, a copy of the work of the founder. His name is Jose Silva. So that's just giving you a bit of a rough outline there. That's what I do. I also am a massive John Maxwell fan. I've been reading his books since the 1990s. So I decided to go to Orlando in 2012 and become certified by John Maxwell as a speaker, trainer, and coach. And for those of you who may not know his name, he's the world's #1 leadership author and speaker. He's written about 80 books on leadership, and his best-selling book on leadership, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, is is still the best-selling book of all time on leadership. So that's me, and I'm happy and grateful that you are all on the call tonight, and I'm expecting some more people to also join shortly. Otherwise, it will be recorded for them. So I'm letting you know this will be recorded, and for those who couldn't make it or in a different time zone, I'll be sharing the link with them. So please just feel free to participate. I do want your participation tonight. There will be times when I ask you some questions, and it's just really for your own self-awareness that you do participate. So let's just make it fun. I want to give you the best I can in the next hour and 15, but I can guarantee you two things. The one is you'll walk away with tips and techniques that you can apply in your life straight away to improve your life. That I promise you. And the other promise is, if you want to know more about the Silva method, I'll explain it at the end. So I won't hold you up during the presentation. And at the end, if you're interested on what is involved in the 4-day course, I'll explain it then. So otherwise, let's kick off. So this topic, the 4 key skills to take charge of your life, are really 4 skills that are timeless. They apply and they are relevant regardless of culture, country, occupation, era. They applied thousands of years ago, and they will still be applicable thousands of years to come. And if you can really get these 4 skills right in your life, you really and truly don't need anything else. And this is not an exaggeration. It might seem overly simplistic, but the deeper you dig, the more you'll realize it's true. If you can get these 4 key skills right, there's not a part of your life that you can't change. Of course, in the Silva method, it's a 4-day course, and we actually do certain dynamic meditation exercises to retrain the subconscious mind for effective changing of our results, effective way of, creating the life that we really want and taking charge of our own destiny, so to speak. So these 4 skills, let's have a look. The first one is how to stay calm and focused even under pressure. So this is really about managing and reducing stress. I'm sure you can all tell me, I don't have to tell you, that stress interferes in every single area of your life. Yep. It doesn't matter which area of your life it is. It could be from sleep to relationships to success, focus, health, disease, spirituality, intuition. Everything really in our life is affected by stress. And the other fact is, everybody suffers from stress. If you're alive and breathing, you suffer from stress. Somehow, some way, including children, whether you're 2 years old or 92 years old. So to have the ability to remain calm and focused is a skill. And you can learn the skill. You develop it over time. And it's number 1 on the list because it really is the foundation. You need to get this one right first and foremost to build a better and better life on top of it. It's the foundation on which success in your life is built. If you build other skills, no matter how much training and expertise you get, if you don't know how to manage stress, it all crumbles because you aren't able to cope and to be resilient and to withstand difficult times. And there are going to be difficult times, especially the road to success, as we know, is uphill all the way. So that's the one, that's the foundation. The second one is to have clearly defined goals and to achieve them faster. This may seem very simplistic and obvious, and you may say, oh, Jeanine, we all know that. But the truth is, sciences or statistics have proven if you ask 100 people, what do you really want out of life? 97% can't answer you straight away. So there is a real need to become clear. And I'll show you a lovely technique that's easy to use to get clear and be able to define your own goals. The second half of that is the ability to achieve your goals and to achieve them faster. I'll go into that, and there is a way for us to kind of operate in a certain way that helps us achieve what we want in our life. The third one is overcome self-limiting beliefs. We all suffer from this. This is huge. Everybody's got self-limiting beliefs. I do, everybody does. The problem is we don't know what they are. So if we can become aware of uncovering self-limiting beliefs, and I'll show you a way that you can overwrite them you'll be well on your way to really addressing what I call our gremlins, or these roadblocks in our life that hold us back, and we don't know why. We just can't get ahead on certain levels or certain areas of our life. We just want improvement and we keep feeling like we're stuck. That's really to do with a self-limiting belief. The last one is really important. It's about making better decisions. Decisions is a key ingredient for success. If anyone's read the phenomenal book of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, I've just completed a mastermind on it myself, and I'll be doing a mastermind, running one when I come back from America, end of March, beginning of April. So if anyone's interested, just contact me. But the book of Napoleon Hill on Think and Grow Rich is one of the best books of all time. And it's not about, think and get rich. It's think and grow rich. It's about personal growth. And it delves into so many areas. And one of the chapters is decision. And it says there that successful people have the ability to make decisions quickly and change them very seldom. And unsuccessful people make decisions very slowly and change them often. So making better decisions is also a skill that you can learn and improve on. And the better you become in decision making, the more successful you'll be in your life. There's not a single successful person, whether that be like famous people, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs, people like that, Bill Gates. If you really dig into their lives or their autobiographies, you'll find that they were really good at making decisions swiftly, not changing them quickly either. And the last one, they recognize opportunities. Now, we get lots of opportunities come past us every day. The question is this opportunity right for me? Should I go after this? Because there's a myriad of things that happen. There's courses all the time. There's books all the time that come past our desks. There's people that we meet, events we could go to. How do we know it's the right opportunity for us? So the way you achieve number 4, decisions and recognizing opportunities, is by developing and accessing 2 things: your creativity and your intuition. And I'll talk to you about that towards the end of the presentation. So let me just put the screen blank for a bit. It's not that there's something wrong with the presentation, it's deliberately black. I just want to start off by saying that science today has proven that each and every one of us has a blueprint. And this blueprint determines how successful we are, how much money we earn, how our relationships are, how much love we receive or give, what we receive in life in terms of what we feel that we're worth. And this blueprint is also termed our conditioning, or what psychologists term our paradigm. So my question to you is, and you can unmute your microphones, and I really urge you to, where do you think this comes from, this blueprint or this paradigm? Where do you think it all began, or where do you think it comes from? Just unmute your mics if you want to speak.
From our childhood?
100% from our childhood, spot on. So it comes from mostly age 0 to 7. And from age 0 to 7 is called the imprint phase. There's actually a post on Instagram tonight on my feed of Jeanine Sciacca on the Instagram post, and it's a little video clip of a Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he said that the Jesuits used to say, give me a child until they're 7 years old and I'll tell you what man they will become. It's because that's our imprint phase, and what we have been conditioned by the age 7 actually determines 95% of all our behaviors in life, because our conditioning is mostly strongly created from 0 to 7, because the small child, everything it hears from its parents, primary caregivers, the school, the media, friends, family, it takes in and believes. So this little child actually adopts everyone else's beliefs. And then this becomes our conditioning. And 95% of all our behaviors run off this autopilot program called our paradigm. So the truth is only 5% of our lives, this is neuroscience and statistically proven, only 5% of the time we are really thinking and making decisions consciously. 95% of the time we are being lived. We are automatically operating on autopilot. So this paradigm, it says here, is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. Wow. When you think about that, almost all of our behavior is habitual. And now what I mean by this is the way you answer the phone, the way you respond to someone who gives you a compliment, the way you respond to someone who insults you, the way you go after something that you really want, or if you procrastinate, or you maybe sabotage your success from time to time, or you're very strong-willed and you persist. All those behaviors are habits. So it's really important to understand that this is something that's embedded in us, and really this mental program drives our behavior. So a really good way to illustrate it is with this picture. Now, this comes from Dr. Thurman Fleet. He's a very clever guy who came up with this decades ago, because he said, we all know what the brain is. We've seen a picture of it, it's an organ. But we don't know what the mind looks like. Where is the mind? The mind could be anywhere. So he came up with the stickman diagram, not because it really is the way the mind is, but it's a way to illustrate it. And if you can get a picture, you can get an understanding. So let's assume that this stickman, the top half is the head, and the top half of the head is the conscious mind, and the bottom half is the subconscious mind. Now, it's not that I drew this disproportionately, that the body is so much smaller. The truth is that the mind controls the body. The mind controls all the behaviors and all the functions in the body. Stress is a thought. It happens in the mind. It releases stress chemicals into the body. If this happens frequently enough, it'll become anxiety. If that prolongs enough, it'll become depression. This is a clinically diagnosed condition. That means the body is controlled by the mind. That's why it's so much smaller. The subconscious mind is driving the majority of behaviors, and those behaviors give us our results. So, I've mentioned to you that the subconscious mind drives most of our behaviors. So if you can guess what it was, the number that I said, what percentage of the time are we on autopilot? So do you want to guess?
97.
Yes, 100%. Well, I mean, you are correct, 100%, not that it is 100%. 90 to 95% of the time, so you said 97, that's accurate. We are actually on autopilot. This is a very moderate estimate, 90. They say it's actually 95, 96, just like you said, Renz. So if you think about this, 90% of our behaviors are driven by the subconscious mind, and it's below, conscious, your awareness, it's below your level of awareness that's driving your behaviors and giving your results. So we're not even aware of what's in our subconscious mind, because in there are all our habits, all our beliefs, our self-confidence, our self-worth, all the ideas that we can do something, or all the ideas that we can't do something, where we think we're strong in our lives, where we think we're weak. This is all in the subconscious mind. So my question to you is, if you wanted to change the results, do you think it's more effective to try and do it with a conscious mind using effort and willpower, or do you think it's more effective to reprogram the subconscious mind?
Reprogram, yeah.
100%. And do you know how much more effective it is?
97% more.
What's that?
97% more.
Okay, this is not a percent, this is just how many times. It can be 100 times, 1,000 times. How many times more effective do you think it is to reprogram the subconscious mind? Any guess? There's no right or wrong, just a guess. Make it big.
I would have thought 100, but...
Much bigger than that.
Wow.
30,000. So neuroscience has proven it's 30,000 times more effective to change your results by actually reprogramming the subconscious mind than to try and do it with effort and willpower. So you people will know this for yourself. If you think of somebody that you know, or maybe it's yourself, who's ever tried to reduce your weight by, let's just say, 5 kilograms, how difficult it is using effort. Go to the gym, eat properly. And most people who try this slip back. They reduce, they drop off 4 kilos, they put back 2. They drop off 1, they put back 3. And this thing goes back and forth. If it was so easy to reduce weight with effort, everyone would be ideal weight. The whole world would be skinny. There wouldn't be one obese person. But the reason it's not so easy is the minute you change your results, if you have not changed the subconscious program of your self-image, it'll have to revert back because it wants to go back to this comfort zone. The comfort zone is, I am overweight. There's actually a whole lesson on this on my Meaningful Monday recordings on my YouTube channel, if anyone's interested. That whole thing on how it works specifically around weight loss or any results you want to change. The point I'm trying to make is, to get good results, it's effortless and sustainable and naturally flowing when you just start working on the mind first. Everything flows from that because the mind drives the behaviors. So in the Silva method, the entire 4-day program is reprogramming the subconscious mind in dynamic meditation. And dynamic meditation means it's not passive meditation where you clear your mind. It's dynamic. We actively engage the mind through visualization, mental rehearsal, creative imagery, using imagination. That's the power to create any results and dreams and goals in your life, is the imagination. It's what they call one of the faculties of genius. The 2 faculties of genius, of the mind, that are the faculties of genius: imagination and intuition. There are actually 6 faculties altogether. The others are memory, reason, willpower, and perception. But imagination and intuition, if you can develop those, there is no end to what you can do, because if you can't imagine something, you can never create it. If you can't imagine better health, you can't create better health. If you can't imagine living and earning more money, you can't create living and earning more money. It has to first start in the mind and has to be so embedded there with repetition and emotion that it sinks into the subconscious mind, and then results start to change. So when you're actually programming deliberately from the beginning, straight into the subconscious mind, boy, it's effective. Your results will change. They'll change quickly. They'll be sustainable. You'll get fantastic results, and you will build more and more self-confidence in your own power to create the life that you want. So just a reminder, the paradigm is that mental program that is almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all of our behavior is habitual. So if you're making notes and you want to change results, number 1, reprogram the mind first. Before you run off to take action plans and to-do lists and book the calendar, program the mind first. That's where the power lies. Okay, so as I said, the Silva method works at that subconscious level, reprogramming the mind, and it's a scientifically proven step-by-step program of very easy and very simple, easy to learn structured techniques for better health, better success, better happiness. And that's why I found it so effective, and that's why I love this program. Very structured. This is your problem, this is your technique. That's your problem, that's your technique. And everything really works quite powerfully. Just as a brief background on the history, it's been around since 1966. The only reason I mention that is it's been around for 53 years. It stood the test of time. It's in over 110 countries around the world. Millions of people have done it. And all these faces you see here of people like Deepak Chopra, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Jack Canfield, Esther Hicks, Louise Hay, Richard Bach, they all did the Silva method before they became famous. And almost all of them give credit to the Silva method for being the catalyst that got them off to release their potential. I mean, Wayne Dyer even talks about the Silva method in some depth in his one book. What's it called? Believe It and You'll See It. I think it's that book.
Which one's that one?
I think it's Believe It and You'll See It.
Who was the author, sorry?
Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've mentioned there it's dynamic meditation where we go to deep levels of mind in meditation. Then we use creative visualization, guided imagery. And as we develop and program more of the mind, we also spend 2 days of the program purely developing intuition. It's got to be the single most valuable skill is to develop your intuition. It guides your life and helps you in every area. Okay. So let's just dig a bit deeper into this step number 1 of the 4 key skills. The first one, how to remain calm and focused even under pressure. So as I said, stress interferes with every area of our life. So I want you just to unmute your microphones and just guess as many things as you can. What do you think are some of the emotional or physical signs of being stressed? And just shoot them out. Don't wait or be polite. Just go ahead and speak.
Not sleeping well.
Yes.
Feeling tension in your body.
Yes.
What else?
Being on edge all the time.
Being on edge all the time, yes, for sure. How else do you just think of people you observe when you see them stressed, or even yourself? How are they behaving emotionally or physically? What's going on there?
Yeah, nervous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you say that they're nervous? What did you say, Rent?
Oh, I was going to say that they're a little more agitated.
Yes, definitely, and short-tempered, correct. And you, Lynn Ray, I think you said something?
And signs of depression as well.
Just say it again, just a bit louder.
I think signs of depression as well would indicate stress. If you're a bit like signs of depression.
Yes, absolutely right. Definitely from stress leads to depression. Depression is the feeling of not being able to cope, actually, and anxiety that's prolonged can also lead to depression. Yes. Anything else? I'll show you what we have here. So you've mentioned quite a few of them: being irritable, impatient, anxious, overly critical, getting angry quickly, also crying too easily or not being able to cry. Or when things are funny and there's a good joke going around or people are laughing and you'll see the stressed person goes, yeah, that's funny. They can't laugh, they can't relax. One of the worst feelings must be the feeling of overwhelm. It's a terrible feeling, and when a person's feeling overwhelmed, you actually don't know what to do. So that comes from stress. And it's that feeling of being fearful. From a physical point of view, all kinds of health issues develop, digestive disorders, headaches, just getting sick in general, forgetting, or people say poor memory. There's often nothing wrong with a person's memory. Just when you're stressed, you can't access your memory well because your brain has restricted blood flow when you're stressed. It constricts the blood vessels, so you actually can't think properly. Also, the feeling of being fatigued and tired. When you're under stress, you're always tired. You're really tired. I mean, you're back at work on a Monday and you're tired on the first day of the week and you've got still another 4 days to go. So here are some of the things that we consume when we're stressed. Think about it. We drink alcohol. We might drink coffee if we're feeling tired. We eat badly. We often eat chocolate or fatty food or junk food. If it's really serious, people take drugs. Now, why do you think we consume those things if we're stressed?
To numb what you're trying to get away from.
Yes, correct. How do they make us feel?
What, the alcohol? Better.
Correct. 100%. They make us feel better. They make us feel good. And the reason that these things make us feel good is because they cause the brain to release serotonin and dopamine. The one makes you sleep well, and the one makes you feel good. Now, did you know that deep belly breathing is a natural antidote to stress? It also causes the brain to release serotonin and dopamine, and it's free.
Yep.
So step number 1, as a tip to help you, to remain calm and focused even under pressure, to help manage and reduce stress, the number 1 thing you can do for yourself, and I mean it's the number 1, is to meditate daily. There are many people who do and many people who don't. Some people do it infrequently, some have never tried it. All I want to say is, if any of you meditate daily, well done, keep it up. And if you don't, please do me a favor. There's the address of the website at the bottom, silvamethodaustralia.com.au. Go to the website. There's a free download there. I've got it in the blue block on the right. The Silva Long Relaxation. There's also on SoundCloud. There's a short video before you can get the MP3. Please watch the video. It's only 3 or 4 minutes, just to understand what's going to be said in there and why I say those strange words. They might be strange. But try to use that, or any meditation online. Just find one if you're not doing it. A daily meditation can significantly change your health and change your life. Now you might say to me, oh, Jeanine, I know that. You didn't have to, join this webinar to know that. Now, there's one thing in knowing this. But my friends, there's a whole other thing about actually doing it daily, integrating it, applying it, making it part of your every single day of your life routine. Because if you do that, over time, you become a person who remains calm and focused even under pressure. There's no other way for you to become calm and focused no matter what's happening around you, unless you train your body and your mind repeatedly to be very, very calm and relaxed. And also, whilst you're meditating, your body, I don't know if you know this, dissolves stress chemicals. So very effective, very helpful. And it says there, create a resourceful state. The resourceful state is the calm state. And the more you meditate, the better your life becomes. And also, when you become stressed, it's amplified. It stands out. And you say, whoa, this doesn't feel good. But you know how to get back to a calm state. Because if you meditate regularly, you know a couple of deep breaths, close your eyes and go within, even if it's for 10 seconds, can calm you down. Now, anyone want to guess what are some benefits of meditation? Now, it says alpha meditation. In the Silva method, everything's done at the alpha level. The alpha level is just when your brain waves are much slower, about half of what they are now. And it's the most healthy and stable brainwave state. And when you're in meditation, you're in alpha. So what do you think some of the benefits of meditation are? Any guesses? Just shout out anything.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. When we say meditating, and then you look at Buddhism, so the Silva way is, I think, a different way, but the Buddhist way is focusing on the breath. So which way is the way we meditate here?
Every way, any single way. You did the Buddhist one, you could do passive meditation, you could focus on your breath, you could focus on your body from head to toe relaxing, you could do a guided meditation like the Silva method, where we do go from head to toe and relax, and then through the whole 4-day program, by the end of it, you can actually access a state of deep relaxation within a few seconds through a technique we do called the 3 fingers technique, where we lock in this calm and peaceful state. That comes with the 4-day training. The point is, Rens, to be honest, any meditation is healthy. Anyone. And you could go on the internet and just pick something off YouTube or whatever it may be. It's beneficial. For the mind and the body, it's beneficial.
Just that sometimes you try and meditate, and then you realize, I'm not meditating at all. I'm just thinking about things spinning in my head. Am I really meditating? And that's the bit that I struggle with personally myself.
Well, I cannot thank you enough for saying that, because everybody has that, including people, even like myself. I've been practicing the Silva method for 10 years. I even do Vipassana, the 10-day silent meditation. To control this mind is the most difficult thing on earth. So thank you for saying that. That's the reason that the Silva method is a guided meditation program, because when a voice is guiding you with a certain sound in the background that helps your brainwaves slow down, you can stay focused through the guiding voice that says, concentrate on your scalp, relax, feel the tension and all pressure, whatever, just relax and ease away and focus on this part. So that's why in the Silva method it is guided, because it does help a person just stay on track. And through practice, you get better and better and better till eventually you don't need a guided meditation. You can do it on your own, and you will. Yeah.
But okay, back to your question of benefits. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot,
yeah.
What did you want to say?
Oh, no, I'm just going to agree with probably what you're going to say, is that you feel a lot more relaxed, so you de-stress a lot more, and you're probably a lot more alive mentally as well.
Perfect. Definitely. Your focus, your mental alertness significantly improved through daily meditation.
And
yeah.
Insights too when you meditate, onto things that, you can sort of sometimes meditate a little bit and have some brilliant ideas that come because you are in a bit of a state like that.
That's very true. And actually, what you're also accessing and what you've said is your intuition.
Yeah.
Good ideas and insights like that are really intuitive light bulb moments. They're perfect. Fidele, thank you for joining us again. You're back on. If you want to share anything, please feel free. So.
Okay. So, thank you, Jeanine.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
For the time being, I'm listening.
Okay, great. Do you want to guess any more benefits of meditation?
Obviously, sleep better.
Definitely.
Age younger.
Yes. Sleep better, age younger. So actually you don't age, you age slow or you stay younger. Definitely yes.
And obviously probably because you're sleeping better, you're not going to be so disease prone, if you like.
Yes, much healthier. And also when you rested, you are also less agitated. You don't have a short temper. You're calmer. You're better to be around. You're more tolerant.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we have here. So I've mentioned stress chemicals dissolve. You get rid of your stress. It's so effective. The other thing is, if you meditated every single day without missing a day for more than 30 days, you would absolutely lower your blood pressure. You would lower your cholesterol levels with no drugs, no tablets. You would be able to stabilize your blood sugar. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you diabetes too can absolutely be eliminated by meditating daily. Absolutely. Renz, you mentioned better health. Yes, because it boosts the immune system. The most accelerated healing happens in the alpha state. You could not give your body a better way to heal than being in alpha meditation. Also, the feeling of inner peace. My goodness, that's got to be the most priceless and wonderful feeling, is to walk around with a feeling of inner peace all day long, being in harmony. Other one you said there, Renz, was being focused and clear thinking. Definitely. Having more energy. Also, you said intuition, you also said, so you got most of them here. The wonderful thing are the ones at the bottom. When you meditate daily, it honestly feels like the universe has got your back. It feels like you've got good luck flowing. Synchronicities happen. Things work out for you. You feel inspired. You get these wonderful ideas. You take inspired action. You never feel like you have to work, you have to do this. You just feel like, oh, wow, I'm going to do this. And you're feeling on top of your game. Wonderful feeling. Also, to be more creative and to solve problems better. Also, if you meditate daily. Okay, so that's the one tip, is to meditate daily to remain calm and focused. The second one is, has anyone heard of the power of your words? So has anyone heard that words affect your brain? And if so, what have you understood by that?
If you speak it, you hear it as well when you speak something out aloud. And there's a thing called the 4 agreements. One of the first is be impeccable to your word. Impeccable meaning sin. So if you talk and you talk honestly, And don't gossip and things like that. It has such a big impact on yourself and everyone else. So it's very powerful. Yeah,
It's so true.
Spoken word. Yeah.
Hi, Denise.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What I want to say is you talk about the spoken word. I think it's very important. For example, I used to say, I can't stand this and I can't stand that. I can't stand, the weather or the heat. But in actual fact, without realizing, that was going into my subconscious, and I do have a problem at the moment, but it's getting better particularly because I've been meditating and because I've realized that what I say is very important. So I've had a problem with my spine, my lower spine and my hip. And so I realized every time I said, I can't stand the heat or this and that, it's very bad because words are powerful. So I've stopped doing that.
Wow. Well done. And what you've just said, this book that's on the screen there is exactly what you're saying. It's written by two neuroscientists, Andrew Newberg and Mark Waldman. By the way, they've both done the Silva method. One actually was a Silva trainer for a while, or worked with a Silva trainer for a while. But in this book, How Words Change Your Brain, exactly what you're saying. The person kept saying, I'm sick and tired of this, I'm sick and tired of that, I'm sick and tired. The brain says, hey, you've given me 10 orders of sick and tired. I'm going to deliver now an order of sick and tired coming up. And the next thing, you feel unwell, you feel exhausted into sleep. So exactly what you've said, I can't stand this, I can't stand that. I said this in my one Silva class, and a lady just went, oh my goodness, I've had a problem with my lower legs my whole life. And she said, my mother used to always say she can't stand this, and I say it too. And she said, this awareness has changed so much. So your words are very, very powerful. And thanks, Denise, for what you said and what you've also said, Renz. Actually, there's a Meaningful Monday recording. If anyone wants to go into this in depth, it's called The Power of Your Words. Everything you say programs yourself. The subconscious mind doesn't have any ability to accept or reject any idea. It takes everything literally. So your conscious mind may say, oh, please, it's just a saying, I can't stand the weather. But your subconscious mind doesn't have that ability. It takes everything literally. So if you say, I can't stand, it's taking it literally. And this is so powerful that you might have been in a seminar in your life where you've seen a person on stage invite an audience member up, ask them, I'll just show you on the camera, hold their arm up like this, and they do a strength test. And the person says, I am strong 10 times, and he's got all the strength, he can't push his arm down. Then they ask him to say, I am weak 10 times, and immediately his arm just falls down like this. And that's just saying, I am weak 10 times. There's no other change. The words are very powerful, and they do reprogram the brain. This is the most important thing you will ever hear in your life. And if you're making notes, please, this must be written down in big, bold box. The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. It can't tell if you are imagining your life, closed eyes, daydreaming, what you're thinking, what you're saying, or if it's really true. And this is the reason why programming the mind is so strong. If you think of Olympic athletes, they use enormous amounts of visualization. So do people working in NASA. The highest performing people in their field, in any craft in the world, visualize. Because when they see it in their mind, the subconscious mind thinks it's real. Oh, I'm winning the race. Let's say you're an athlete. I'm winning the race, visualizing. You do this enough times, you convince the subconscious mind that you're a winner. You run and you win. And it significantly enhances their performance. So much so that basketball professionals hear this. They train 75% visualizing and 25% on the court, and they get the best results. If they flip that around and trained more on the court than visualizing, they get far weaker results. So there's a little stick man diagram just to remind you, your subconscious mind takes in everything, but your conscious mind can reject an idea and say, oh, I don't believe that. I don't want to accept that. Your subconscious mind can't. So even what Renz was saying, even if other people are talking, so if you're sitting with a person who's catastrophizing and says to you, oh my goodness, my life's a disaster, I could jump off a bridge, I'm just dying in this job, your brain is taking all of that in literally as if you're saying it, even if it's them. So here's a little bit of an exercise now before I give you the antidote. Let's just first identify negative words, and then I'm going to give you the antidote on how you can effectively help yourself. Call out to me any words or phrases that are negative. And as fast as you can, don't be polite and wait for other people to speak, just go.
Yeah.
Tired.
Time. Yep, what else? Let's go fast.
What's that? You want the negative things we say, like, that gets on my nerves.
Very good. Get on my nerves. Yep, what else?
That gives me such a headache.
That gives me such a headache. Yes, perfect.
Life is difficult.
It's difficult. Very good. What else?
I don't like my job.
I don't like my job. Perfect. Yep. What else?
I'll never be able to do this.
Never. I love it. Never is a negative word. And to say I'll never be able to do this is so bad because you're not even allowing your brain to find a solution. You're just saying never. I'll never be able to. It will not even find a creative solution for you. You've shut down possibility for your mind. Great. What else? What other words are negative?
Even the word hate.
Yes. Did you know that if you say the word hate, it causes your stomach to produce acid, even if it's out of context? This is in that book. Any more?
I can tell you that when I talk to the magpies, and I say, you are beautiful, I love you, and all that. And I don't know, I don't use negative words, but they seem to give me this beautiful little choir in the morning, you know, like, I don't know, they just do this beautiful chant.
Yes.
Well,
beautiful.
You will love the Silva Method training because we talk about animals, nature, even plants. And what you're saying is not just your opinion, it's an absolute proven scientific fact. The energy that emanates from you and the state that you're in, let's call it your mood, which we can call our vibration, raises. If you give compliments of praise or beauty or love, whether it's real or imagined, you will change your state. Animals are completely intuitive. It's us who've lost the sixth sense. And they can feel that from you. And your appreciation and admiration of them is absolutely felt as real as if they could speak English. And they're loving you back. So it's not your imagination. It's very real. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
That's a beautiful.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. And it's so true. Okay, so let's have a look what we have on the list here. The word can't. I think that's also similar to what Fidele said when he said it's difficult. Can't shuts off possibility. The word try is also negative. Do you know why it's negative?
Well, you're trying, you're not really burning your bridges. You're giving up before you even start, isn't it, really?
Correct. You're presupposing failure there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So Denise said never. Another word is always. I always forget my keys. Or I never remember people's names. Or if you say to someone, you're always late. It's not true. Somebody is not always late, but if you said that to them, you would put them on the back foot and make them defensive. But even in your own life, if you said always, I always do this and I always do that, it's not really accurate. The word but The word but negates everything you said before. I mean, imagine saying to someone, I love you, but what are you saying?
You're saying you don't love them, actually.
Yeah, actually saying not exactly. You just negate what you've said before. What about the word don't? Imagine if I said to you, don't think of the pink elephant with pink ears and he's got pink earrings and he's got pink nail polish on his toes and the pink elephant's blowing a pink trumpet the size of a massive, I don't know, bigger than a car. As I'm saying, don't think about it. You're seeing this image in your mind. Now the brain thinks in pictures. So when you say to someone, please don't slam the door, or to a child, this is important for kids, don't slam the door. The picture in the mind is slam the door. If you say, don't forget your lunchbox, don't forget to do this, or you are creating the wrong image and you will get what you think about whether you want it or not. So if you could eliminate don't out of your vocabulary and speak in terms of what you do want, it's far more effective. So please close the door quietly. Please remember to bring. Don't say don't be late. Say please be on time.
Yes, or remember to do a.
Perfect. Yeah. Yes, remember is very good. Here's another one. Hate, you've mentioned. Tired. So did you know that every time you say I'm tired, you are programming yourself for, we heard about the paradigms definition, habitual behavior. Everything is habitual with us. When you say I'm tired, if you really examined yourself carefully, you would realize it's a habit. You say it every week of your life. You probably say it every day or think the thought. It's habitual. And every time you say I'm tired, you're reprogramming yourself to be tired. So I'll come back to that and give you an antidote for tired. We spoke about I can't stand this. I'm sick and tired of that. There's another one. Pain in the neck. Pain in the butt. I'll tell you a quick story. Ken, my Silva trainer, he had this lady who used to review the course often. And she always said, the traffic is such a pain in the butt. This pain in the butt, pain in the butt. And one day he said to her, so tell me, how's it going with your lower back ache there? She went, Ken, how did you know? You're psychic, right? So I said, no, you just keep saying a pain in the butt all the time. She goes, oh, come on, Ken, you don't think it's that? And he said, yes, I really do. Give it a shot. Never say that again. And it's very true. Everything the brain takes literally. Another one to say, it's critical. They love using that term in the workplace. Critical comes from hospital ICU wards. Critical comes from war zones. The army uses that word. We should rather say it's very important, but not critical. So yeah, my friends, is a pattern interrupter, the solution for you. It's called the cancel technique. So when you think a thought, it's a neuro pathway. The brain sends this little thought and it runs like an electric current in your brain. It makes an impression on the subconscious mind every time you do it. If you say cancel, as simplistic as it sounds, or even funny, it actually works effectively on the brain and deletes that neuro pathway in its tracks. And if you reframe, so the word is must reframe, you must reframe with a positive sentence afterwards. You rewrite that negative pathway with a positive pathway. And immediately you start reprogramming yourself bit by bit for being more positive. So can anybody guess how many thoughts do we have a day on average?
Maybe
about 60,000.
Perfect. Correct. About 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. Good. Now, how many of those thoughts are negative on average?
90%.
Yes, you're very close. It's 86%. Anything from 80 to 86%. And it goes undetected by the conscious mind. I'll say it again. It goes undetected by the conscious mind. So you're not aware that 86% of the time, your brain is having negative thoughts that are reprogramming you. So this cancel technique helps to create more awareness. Every time you have an awareness of a negative sentence or thought and you go cancel, and you overwrite it with a positive statement, You're reprogramming yourself. And my friends, I promise you, if you do this with all your heart and soul, as simple as it sounds, you can actually change your life with this one technique on its own. Because every time you become a little bit more positive, you have more positive outcomes in your life. Because positive thoughts give positive outcomes. Negative thoughts give negative outcomes. So I want you to help me now. I'll give you one example, and then I want you to give me one, anyone. I'll give you an example first. It goes like this. If I said, don't slam the door, cancel, please close the door quietly. I've corrected myself. So this you'll do in your mind, or if you're speaking yourself, you can say it out loud. But just remember, sometimes people will think you're crazy, so maybe you'll say it in your mind and just reframe out loud. Now you try. What would you say if you had to correct this? I'm tired. So remember, say what you do want. That's the answer. Cancel, what would you say?
I'm feeling great.
Okay, now, we couldn't say we're feeling great if we really are tired, because if there's dissonance in the brain, it gets confused and it disregards it. So let's rather say, what do you want when you're tired?
More energy.
More energy, great. Or more sleep. So you could say this,
Yes.
I'm tired, cancel, I could do with more energy right now. Or cancel, I could do with a really good sleep tonight. Or cancel, I could do with a quick nap or a quick 5 minutes of meditation. Just say what it is that you want. Let's give it another one. What if I said, I never remember people's names? I'm going to just add something on the
Cancel.
Yeah.
I always remember people's names.
Well, that's also a word on the
Oh, I understand what you're saying. It's a bit too far.
Yes, it's a bit too unrealistic. And I've put better at the bottom there. The Silva method loves better. It comes from another person, Emile Coué, who was a pharmacologist, that says every day and every way I'm getting better and better. But if you could put better into your reframe. So, for example, I never remember people's names. I could say cancel. I'm determined to get better and better at remembering people's names. So I'm telling myself something positive. If I just remembered one or two people's names just start saying, I'm getting better and better at remembering names. Every time you want to say it, I'm getting better and better at remembering people's names. If people say to you, how are you? From now on, just answer better and better. If people say, how's your business? Just say better and better. You will start getting better and better in your life. Let's try another one. What if I said, like Fideli said, it's difficult. I can't do this. What would you say?
It's difficult. It's challenging. Cancel. It's challenging, but there is a way around it.
That's it. Thank you. Right. You've opened the door of possibility. Perfect. Yes. Great.
Can I add that to something? Now, I had a lady say the other day to me, she said, you're a prat. And I said, what do you mean by that? And she said, being silly or stupid, this sort of thing. And what I try and do sometimes is make them be a little more accountable for their words, because I don't think it's positive. I don't need to take it. I don't buy it, but make them think. And I'm curious, I would say there wasn't a lot of thought had gone into it. I'd say it's something possibly, with question mark, that the mum might have said, you silly prat, you prat, or whatever. You know, so it doesn't hurt sometimes to pull people up. Make them be a little more accountable for their words, I think, anyway.
Absolutely. And it's so true. And no one should say that.
No, that's right. It's not uplifting. It's not edifying.
No, my gosh.
Yep. And, just to remind people with children around, especially between 0 and 7, everything you say, they're going to believe. So if you criticize a child, especially at that age, that becomes their programming, and it's very hard to change later. And if children are criticized enough at that young age, like what you just said there, Renz, and called names like that, repeatedly, that's how they see themselves. We actually change their self-image, and it's very hard to reverse it later on. You can, but it's without awareness or a program like the Silva method or some technique, it's not that easy. So even as adults, I agree, we shouldn't say that to anyone. And actually, just to give you comfort, there's a recorded YouTube video I've got on my channel called Taking It Personally. Every time a person says something or criticizes, just that you know, don't take it personally, because it's never about you. It's always about them. But I'm going to add that just to give you comfort. Okay, so there you have it, the cancel technique. So I've given you 2 things to overcome stress: meditate daily, use the cancel technique. All right, we're going to speed up now just to get through the rest tonight. Having clear goals and achieving them faster. What you need to do is to achieve your goals is to stay positive, motivated, and focused. So I'm going to give you a quick technique to help you define what you want, because getting clear is the first step. If you have wishy-washy goals, you're going to have wishy-washy outcomes. You've got to clearly define in your life what it is that you want, and if you can do that and specifically writing it down, you will achieve it. So it's called What Do I Want Reflection. Go somewhere quiet, take deep belly breaths for a couple of minutes until you calm and relax, almost like you're in a meditation, and sit with a pen and paper on your lap and take your time and answer these questions one by one. So write them down. The first one is, what do I want to create in my life? And just relax, and whatever comes up for you, start writing it down and think of all the areas in your life: your health, your relationships, your career, your money, your fun and recreation, your spirituality, all areas of your life, okay? And we say create deliberately because, especially in the Silva method, we know we are creating our own reality all the time, whether we're aware of it or not. If you don't think you are, you think you're a victim of circumstance, I'm here to tell you that's not true. And with enough awareness, and you realize and take responsibility, you do create your life with every thought and every feeling. So we just use the word create as the first question to be intentional and take ownership. The second question is, why is this valuable to me? We want to have a strong purpose. Why? The question why introduces purpose. So how will this achieving your goals make your life different and better? That's the why. The next is, what talents and strengths do I have to create this? I love this question. We want to work in our strength zone. We want to do things in our life and come from an area of our talents and our strengths. I don't believe that people should be working on their weaknesses. So I really don't. The only thing you need to work on that's a weakness are things like procrastination, chronic negative thinking, self-doubt, indecision. Yes. But we're not trying to develop areas of our life that are untalented. Go to your talents and use those talents and strengths. They're God-given, and there's a reason you have them. And when you're doing something that you do well, you are happier. When you do something that you do well, your life is more fulfilling. You enjoy it more. And that's how you want to live your life. No one likes to do anything they don't do well. So that's a good question, to link your talents and gifts to what you want to create and how you can create it for yourself. The next question is when, just that we have a timeline, it helps us get there. And the last question is, how does this relate to others? This is called a benefit extension factor. If you think about how achieving your goals can benefit 1 or 2 other people, you're well along your way to having a strong purpose to achieve your goals. And that's what we want. We want to think about others and how what we can, when we achieve how we can make other people's lives better as well. So that's the what do I want reflection. If you give that a shot and you have really relaxed beforehand for a few minutes to get into meditation, you ask these questions, you'll be surprised what comes up for you. It's going to be very different than rushing to a table and just writing this all out from the conscious mind. In the Silva method, we take 45 minutes to answer these few questions. They're not exactly the same, they're almost the same, but we take 45 minutes to get through this in a deep state of meditation because answers that come out are really profound, all about, our life purpose and things like that. Then how to stay focused and motivated. So gratitude. Gratitude journaling is one of the most wonderful things you can do, because I'm sure you've heard the term law of attraction. It's the law of vibration. If you haven't heard it, it just means that we attract into our lives things that are a vibrational match to how we are feeling. So if you're feeling grateful, you're going to attract into your life circumstances and situations that are going to make you more grateful. On the opposite side, if you're angry and complain all the time, that's your state of vibration. This is the law of attraction. It applies whether you believe in it or not. It's a universal law. The law of vibration applies. Everything in this universe is vibrating, and like attracts like. So if you're angry and complain, you're going to attract circumstances in your life that are going to make you more angry and are going to make you complain more. So if you think about your goals and achieving them, if you can stay in a state of gratitude as much as possible throughout the day, you're going to manifest your goals faster, better, quicker. So my recommendation is, we might not remember to do this throughout the day, then at least take a gratitude journal at night before you go to sleep and journal one page of everything you're grateful for in that day. And I mean everything. If it's today, the fact that your ears work and that you could have heard this webinar, the fact that you are healthy and you can hold a pen and make notes to this webinar, the fact that you're sitting healthy and awake and not lying in a hospital bed, or that you had food to eat tonight and you can go and lie in a comfortable bed in a house where some people don't even have a home, let alone a bed. So anything that you're grateful for. If you go to sleep grateful, you're going to wake up grateful. If you're going to go to sleep worried and stressed, you're going to wake up worried and stressed. How you go to sleep is how you wake up. So that's why I recommend it at night. You can do it in the morning or anytime you want. It's really up to you. Gratitude journaling is very, very powerful. And by the way, it's also been proven that getting into a state of appreciation and gratitude boosts the immune system and accelerates healing. Even with sick people, to just practice gratitude and appreciation, they heal faster. Okay. Thank anyone. Thank your mother, thank the universe, thank God, whatever it is for you, but be thankful. And they say, there's a saying that says, those that thank for little will never thank for much, which is very true. So be thankful for the little things, and you'll end up being thankful for the bigger things, because they will just be attracted into your life. And then also remember, surround yourself with people who can support you. Everybody says this. You want to be kept accountable for staying healthy and fit? Go to a gym. You're surrounded by people who go to gym. You're surrounded by people who are going to support you. A personal trainer will keep you accountable. If you want to be better at public speaking, join a Toastmasters club. There are going to be people there who can support you. So in your own life, I can tell you this, in the Silva method, we've got a lot of graduates now, and we have graduate workshops. There's one coming up on the 16th of February. That's just people who are like-minded, getting together and supporting each other. There is nothing more wonderful than hanging out with people who are positive, motivated, and focused, and they want to help other people. So hang around with good people. I have to say this, please, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I'm going to tell you honestly. If there are people in your life that are bringing you down, you've got to make a difficult choice, but you've got to remove yourself from people who are bringing you down. Hang around people who lift you up. Hang around people who are good for you. Okay. Step 3, overcoming self-limiting beliefs. So number 1, the first thing is to be able to identify a self-limiting belief. Now I'm going to say a very broad statement here, and it's quite general. But if you can get this in your mind, it will help you so much. Any negative emotion, any, and that goes for anger, jealousy, grief, frustration, resentment, you name it, there's a limiting belief in there. There's something in your belief system That's a limiting belief about some person or a situation or life in the big world, whatever it may be. That's a clue. So I just want to say this here quickly. It was Fidele who said in the negative words, I don't like my job. Did you know that that's a negative belief? Now you can say to me, this is my own life I'm going to talk. A couple of years ago when I was having that worst time of my life, I was really struggling at work and it was so awful. It was so difficult. I don't know which way to turn. And I would be the one saying, I hate my job. Cancel. But I was saying that a lot. I really, didn't like my job. I kept affirming that. And I actually, one day I knew this already, but it wasn't like in my awareness. And one day it just popped in my awareness and it's like, hello, if you got a negative thought, you got a limiting belief. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to put this to the test. I just started affirming I absolutely love my job. I affirmed it 1,000 times on the train going to work in Melbourne. I affirmed it 1,000 times coming home. I absolutely love my job. I know this sounds crazy. I absolutely love my job. I kept saying it over and over again. I used to even close my eyes and visualize another job that I had previous to that one, where I really did love it. And just imagine being in that environment of a happy workplace and just getting to that feeling place of loving my job. I kid you not. It took a few months. But a few months later, everything that turned around for me, I absolutely did love my job. And I'll tell you something, my boss never changed. My colleagues never changed. My clients never changed. My targets never changed. The furniture never changed. The building, nothing changed. I changed. So sometimes we think things are facts. They're actually beliefs. So just have the awareness. Anytime you have negative emotion, you're having a limiting belief. And even if it's about a person, this person's not good or this person's got some issue or whatever, that's a negative thought. That's also a limiting belief. Because the limiting belief there is that if you were really evolved and like overcame all our gremlins, we would be like Jesus, where there's just unconditional love. That's the highest evolution of the human soul, is to get to a place of unconditional love. So you can trust me when I say any negative emotion has a limiting belief underlying it. Okay, so how do you rewire yourself for success? So the first thing we need is to have a resourceful state. I mean, a state where you're feeling great, like a winner. So let's look at that picture below, that guy on the mountain. He's saying, yes, I've achieved it. So think of your own life. You've got evidence in your own life. Reflect on your own success. It doesn't matter how old you were. You could have been 5 years old getting an award for tennis, or you could be 12 years old, getting a prize for something. You're buying your first house, having your first baby, whatever it may be. Think of a moment in your life where you were proud, where you achieved something, where you felt like a winner. Then visualize. So close your eyes, go into meditation and visualize that actual evidence, the thing that happened for real in your life. Relive it with all your emotions, with all your mind. Smell it, see it, taste it, touch it in your mind as real as you can until you feel that emotion of that winning feeling. And then when you've got that, that's what we call a resourceful state. Then jump into the future of a goal you have and visualize achieving that goal off the back of that resourceful state you created from reliving a successful event in your life. So in the Silva method, to tell you what we do, we find the biggest moment of achievement, moment of excellence in your life. We go into a guided meditation. I talk you through it, and you relive that slowly, like for 15 full minutes, getting all those emotions going. And then we lock it in something called the 3 fingers technique. It's like accessing a resourceful state in the future. It's like a trigger, an association, like Pavlov's dogs. Ring the bell and the dog salivates even though there's no food. So we do that kind of association with the 3 fingers technique. And then we say to ourselves, anytime in the future, if we want to feel confident or like a winner or persuasive or energetic or whatever it may be, all we have to do is put our 2 fingers together. My friends, this works. It's not magic, but it works like magic. It's very, very powerful. The brain is so powerful. If you program the mind to say, I'm in this winning state, and if I put my two fingers together, I can be in this state in an instant in the future. Your brain honestly programs itself for that. So for you, if you're not doing the Silva method, it's okay. Just relive a moment of excellence, get back into the emotions of it, and then project into the future a goal that you have, and see yourself having it, being it, doing it, already achieved. And most importantly, feel the emotion. The emotion is the creative force. Okay, step 4, making better decisions and recognizing opportunities. This is about accessing your creativity and intuition. So how valuable is intuition? Well, have a look at this quote. This is from Harvard research. It says the 2 most effective tools for the 21st century are meditation and intuition. Isn't that interesting? Who would have thought that those would have been the 2 most effective tools for 21st century executives? And research has proven this, and when this was published, 2 more universities, one in the UK, one somewhere else in Europe, came up with the exact same thoughts. So we've discussed meditation. If you can get into the habit of meditating daily, it's the most wonderful, wonderful gift you can give yourself. It helps you in every single area of your life, from health to relationships to achieving goals, to having inner peace, getting on top of your game. Now, intuition is priceless. It's the most valuable thing. That's what Albert Einstein says below there. The only real valuable thing is intuition. Why? Because your intuition will never, ever guide you wrong. It comes from a higher source. You know, Wayne Dyer said, if prayer is when we are talking to God, then intuition is when God is talking to us. So if it's God for you, great. If it's not, if it's something else, if it's just a higher power, just know that intuition is your true guidance from a higher, purer place. It will always guide your life. And if you could trust it and access it, you will be guided to everything that you need to do in your life to fulfill you and accomplish and live honestly the best possible life for you. So the challenge with intuition is we often don't know the difference. Is this wishful thinking, or is this fear, or is this really accurate intuitive insight? How do we know? Because sometimes when you're afraid, you think, oh, I've got this feeling, I've got it, it's intuition. No, it's just fear. We also have distortions with intuition, with projection. So let's say you grew up and your parents kept telling you not to trust second-hand car salesmen. And you were told this your whole life. They're crooks, they rip you off. One day you're in your 30s, you go and buy a second-hand car, the guy's giving you the deal, and something inside you says, I can't trust this guy, I'm not going to buy this car. Now, really, is that intuition now, or is this projection? You don't know. So how do we become discerning with intuition? How do you refine it? The only way is to have many points of reference, because it says here, the challenge with intuition is when we lack points of reference. So the best way to develop intuition is to get many accurate, verifiable points of reference. What does that mean? You have an opportunity to sense something and saying, oh, when I sensed it like this, I was right. When I got that gut feeling like that, I was wrong. How do I know? More and more examples of more evidence and experience. So in the Silva method, we spend 2 full days on intuition. It's the most wonderful part of the program. It's my favorite part and everyone else's favorite part. You play these intuition games and you get immediate feedback. And as you get the feedback, you go, oh, okay. When it came to me that way, I was right. When I sensed it that way and thought like that, I was wrong. And as you do this over and over for 2 days, boy, oh boy, your intuition just comes to this point of refinement where you become more and more accurate, because it takes practice. So if you're not going to do the Silva method program, I would say to you in your life, just start to trust your intuition and follow it. Every single time you have a hunch, a gut feeling, an inkling, a flash in your mind, or a voice in your ear, however it comes to you, act and follow it. If it leads you wrong, go back and work out why, and go back and think, is it fear? Is it my old programming? Is it wishful thinking? Did I want this thing so much? I said, oh, there's a sign. I think it's intuition. Go work out why. But otherwise, trust your intuition always. And the more you trust it and get this feedback, I was right, or I wasn't right, the more you do that, the more you'll become to know yourself and your own intuition. And then, my friends, it'll help you in every area of your life. So let's quickly recap here. If you're making notes and missed anything, now's the chance to write it down. The 4 key skills to take charge of your life is to 1, stay calm and focused, even under pressure. Reduce stress in your life. Manage your stress. Meditate daily and use the cancel technique, and you must reframe with a positive statement afterwards. Secondly, get clear goals. You do that with a what do I want reflection, asking those 5 questions. To achieve your goals quicker, gratitude, and surround yourself with people who can support you. And of course, it's not even listed here. Visualize. Visualize every day of your life what it is that you want. Visualize yourself doing it, if it's health, visualize yourself healthy. Every day, visualize. Don't leave it out. Third one, overcoming self-limiting beliefs. Find a resourceful state, relive it, and then go straight into visualizing your future goal. Number 4, making better decisions, recognizing opportunities. That's your intuition. And also staying calm helps you be more creative and more intuitive. So people, did you find this helpful?
Yes.
Very good. Yeah.
You enjoy it? Okay, great. Now, this is just a quick 3% of the Silva method, to be honest. If you'd like to expand on this and actually develop yourself, the next step is up to you. Jose Silva, the founder of the Silva method, says, the greatest discovery you'll ever make is the potential of your own mind. If you can manage your mind, you can manage your life. If you can use your mind with your imagination to imagine this that you want repeatedly, you can create it. Fact. So for the Silva method, if anyone's interested in doing the program, it's a 4-day program. The next one is, they're the dates in February and in April. It's $1,500. 2 benefits are, once you've done the Silva method, you can review the program for free for the rest of your life, anywhere in the world, unlimited. You only pay a seat charge of $85 for life systems and $85 for intuition. No other program in the world offers this. It's one of the most wonderful benefits, because the more you rehearse and the more you practice and review the program, the better and better your life becomes. The second benefit is there's a conditional money back guarantee. If you don't like the program, we give you all your money back. If you don't think it's valuable, we give you all your money back. The only condition is you attend every day of the 4 days and you do every exercise. Just give the manual back and we'll give you money back. There's also a kids program. So if anyone's got children or knows of children between 8 and 12 years old, it's in April. And you can see the April class above it is just before the kids, because a prerequisite is that at least one parent needs to be a Silva graduate before a child can come. That's just because you want to support them and know what they're learning, so you can encourage them. You don't want, the kid to say, hey, Mom, if this thing is so good for me, why aren't you doing it? So that's the prerequisite. As I said, I promised you in the beginning, I'll just tell you quickly what you'll gain in the Silva method. So just briefly, techniques to sleep better without the use of drugs every night. Guaranteed to overcome insomnia. Manage pain and headaches without the use of drugs. Improve your health. The stories I could tell you about people improving their health and overcoming, I know people through the Silva method who have cured themselves from epilepsy, stop taking medication, cancer, even full body paralysis, diabetes, insomnia. I personally know people who've done that. Chronic headaches is another one. Arthritis is another one. Okay. We also use it to visualize and manifest our goals. We use it to increase self-confidence. We use it to help us develop intuition. It just helps you live in the flow. It's good for decision making. We've got a technique for that. Also for problem solving skills. One of the best exercises, the one on life purpose. I love that one. So it really just helps you be more self-empowered to manage and create your own life. Learning to trust yourself, having more confidence in you and your power to create your best life. Okay, so that's it from me. If you have any questions, I'll stay here until the last man drops the phone. Otherwise, on this last quote, it really is true. The greatest discovery you'll ever make, honestly, is the potential of your own mind. And by the way, your potential is unlimited. Abraham Maslow proved that years ago. Unlimited. There's no end to what you can do. So thank you, my friends, for being on this webinar for this time. I'll stop the recording and